everyone, this is Ashley Kaltwasser here, and I am today going to show you, along with my coach Summer Montabone, a few plank variations.
Ashley and I are going to show you some different variations to the traditional plank, and of course these are great ones to take with you anywhere. So let's start off in the traditional plank. We want to make sure shoulders are in line with the elbows and that our core is nice and engaged, really flat. She's nice and flat, so much that maybe you could eat dinner off her back. Now when you've mastered that plank position, you could have a friend take a weight and place it on your back here. Okay, again, we want to make sure the belly button is pulled up into the spine and she's holding this nice and tight here. So that's your traditional plank. Go ahead and rest for a second, Ashley. So let's say you've really mastered that and you want to work the core from some different angles. Well, we can take it up a notch. So I'll have her start back in that plank position. And then I'm going to let Ashley go ahead and show us her first favorite move in the plank. She's going to just lift up one leg. That's going to activate the glutes a little bit. So maybe you hold it there for 5 seconds, 10, 15, and then you switch to the other one. The key part here is that you keep your body still in alignment and square and that you're not rolling side to side. Good. And then she could also get really fancy and try to reach out one of her arms instead. There you go. Now this one might cause your body to roll a little bit, and this is going to really make you force those muscles into alignment here, and she could try the other side. So notice right now we're rolling a little bit, makes it a little bit more difficult. It might make it easier if she tries to lift both the opposite arm and opposite leg at the same time. Testing the coordination, right and left brain here, but really lengthening those out, okay? And then you can lift and lower from the opposite side again. She can also pop up onto her hands, okay, holding this position. And if you want to drop yourself back down, you can. So these are plank up downs. There you go. Key is to try to keep the center as square as possible. Now I'm going to have her hold it here. Here's a fun little one you could do at home with your kids. You could have them do shoulder taps and do the ABCs or spell awards. So she's going to hold this, and I'm going to have her tap her arm to the opposite shoulder. And again, we're trying really hard not to rock from side to side. Okay, and that is a little bit harder than you might think. So really think from the core, keep everything centered there as you lift. So again, you can make a game out of it. You can count numbers, you can do the ABCs, whatever you desire. All right, I'm going to have her come on down for a second and roll over to a side plank. So she's going to stack her shoulder on top of her elbow, hips up on top of hips. You're going to make sure you lift up through here, holding that on top. And if you can put your hand on top there, that's great. Some people will even extend their arm overhead for extra balance. Okay, the main thing here is lift up from here, lift this up to the ceiling, keep everything in tight. Now, of course, if you do one side, make sure you bring it down and you do the other side. So she would just roll on over. So now you can see it from the back side there. And if this is too much for you, you can just bring your knees down and bend your knees and just lift up from here. And this is how you're going to modify the plank, okay? Because sometimes the side ones are a little bit more challenging and maybe you can't do them as long as the traditional straight-on plank. I'm going to let Ashley rest for 1 second here. And in planks, just like any exercise, if you try to overdo it and you put yourself in a poor position, it's really counteracting what you're trying to do. So pick a good time, like 10 to 15 seconds, master that before moving on, and be careful not to have a plank off too much because that actually could injure you in the long run. So happy planking.
Thank you guys so much for watching. You can catch more of my Keep It Fresh with Ashley K video tips and tricks on FitnessRxWomen.com.